بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحابته أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم زدنا ولا تنقصنا وأكرمنا ولا تهنا وأعطنا ولا تحرمنا وآثرنا ولا تؤثر علينا وارض عنا. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. And welcome to lesson 2 in the study of Islam and race. Today's lesson is entitled Race is Construction and Reality. In reflecting on lesson 1, we begin by speaking about the idea of what we call simulacrum, and that is this sort of fictionary representation of what we would consider to be reality. That is, for example, when we spoke about the depiction of people such as Jesus Christ and others like that who are depicted in films and other places. And these particular depictions are based upon people's assumptions and people's constructions of what they believe Jesus Christ actually looked like. So often when we look at those pictures, when people say, okay, oh, this person looks like Jesus, and in fact, they don't realize that they are acknowledging something which is not true, which is that the person likely does not look like Jesus Christ because no one has an actual picture of Jesus Christ. And the same thing can be said about so many other types of themes. We also dealt with the issue of the tendency of certain people to choose to change their color, such as the examples we mentioned of Sammy Sosa and Michael Jackson. And this particular phenomenon, which we can say is rooted in a type of psychological sense of inferiority or a lack of acknowledgement of one's own beauty and the desire to resemble others. And this particular impulse or this desire to change, we argue, is something which is not simply rooted in an individual. Rather, it is something which the individual is influenced by throughout one's life. And this is why we have what is called white supremacy in the world today. Even though this particular course is not so much about white supremacy, but it's important for us to highlight this because many Muslims who would not want to deal with the issue of race need to be given reasons why race is important. What was not mentioned during that lesson was that the very fact that in a country like India today, there is an industry of sales of skin whitening cream, an industry which makes about $400 million per year. Rather, in India, Coca-Cola does not sell as much as skin whitening cream because of that particular country's sensibilities about matters of race and beauty. To the extent that when recently a woman of Indian descent in America was crowned Miss Universe, that there was a lot of talk in India about how how could it possibly be, or how could she possibly be considered the most beautiful woman in the world when in fact she's very dark. And so right there, in the very fact that there are many Muslims who live in India, a very large population of Muslims in India, and you don't see fatwas that would actually outlaw the utilization of things like skin whitening cream. In itself brings us to imagine that there must be a problem in the Muslim world. Just to start with, that just one country, but many other countries as well. Even not only for women, but for men as well. In India, they believe that if their skin is whiter, then it makes them more beautiful. And so that's just, again, a small example to highlight this. And so today we want to go ahead and speak a little bit more about what we call race is construction and reality, so that we understand that our perceptions of race today are not simply something that we grew up with, or rather these were things that were imposed upon us, at least on most of us. And that is an important issue to speak about.